Dad, can I please wear this?
Sure.
Jim.
No, absolutely not.
All around me are familiar faces, worn out.
Hello. I am guessing that you are here to view this movie presentation. Well, take a seat, it is about to begin.
Whatever happened to predictability? The milkman, the paperboy, evening TV. You miss your old familiar friends, but waiting just around the bend. Everywhere you look, there's a heart, a hand to hold on to. Everywhere you look, there's a face of somebody who needs you. When you're lost out there and you're all alone, a light is waiting to carry you home. Everywhere you look.
Apollo 13 is a dramatic screenplay retelling the events of the aborted Apollo 13 lunar mission. The movie follows protagonist Jim Lovell as he and his crew aboard the Apollo for the third moon landing mission in the US. It was supposed to be a simple mission, however, when a malfunction occurs on the ship, the astronauts are left stranded in space with little hope of return.
Wait, SpongeBob! We're not cavemen! We have technology!
The setting of the movie is right after the space race, where the US competed with Russia to be the first to reach the moon. The US won and continued to put scientific research into advancing our technology. In the movie, it is implied that these launches during the space race were broadcast on live television. When Jim and his crew first get up into space, his wife is told that his expedition will not be broadcast because nobody would want to see it, though as soon as they are in trouble, the media is advertising it everywhere on every channel. Since this is around the time televisions were becoming popular and media was beginning to boom, the movie could be taking on the point of view that sees the media in a negative light. The media gives what it thinks will bring in viewers, regardless of who it will hurt.
Hey, Marilyn.
Where's their broadcast?
All the networks dumped us. One of them said we made going to the moon about as exciting as taking a trip to Pittsburgh.
Henry, don't you ever sleep?
I have a request from the news people.
Uh-huh.
They're out front here, and they want to put a transmitter up on the lawn.
Transmitter.
It's kind of a tower for live broadcast.
I thought they didn't care about this mission. They didn't even run Jim's show.
Well, it's more dramatic now. Suddenly people are...
Oh, if landing on the moon wasn't dramatic enough for them, why should not landing on it be?
Look, I realize how hard this is, Marilyn, but the whole world is caught up in it. It's the biggest
No,
story
Henry.
since...
Those people don't put one piece of equipment on my lawn. If they have a problem with that, they can take it up with my husband. He'll be home on Friday.
Now, as for historical accuracy, the movie is almost dead on. Since this is the 1900s, and diversity in movies isn't a booming topic yet, the main characters are primarily white. There's about 2 scenes where the focus is on a black person out of the whole movie. This goes for the women in the film as well. While the women in the movie aren't suffering, they're definitely living the stereotypical, traditionalist lifestyle. Other women are seen in the movie, but the only one who is a main character is Marilyn, and she's just there to play Jim's worried wife. However, that aside, the movie itself went nearly exactly as the actual event transpired. Apparently, this is because the director of the movie had the actors study the actual audio logs from the Apollo 13 mission, and they received help from NASA to create the movie. The director even decided not to use any footage from the Apollo 13 mission, so that the film would be entirely original, which is pretty dang impressive.
For the filmmakers, attention to detail was essential in recreating the Apollo 13 experience.
What really happened on the Apollo 13 mission is worth putting on film. These actors have surrounded themselves with the real astronauts that went into outer space in order to play these roles authentically.
I've always wanted to play an astronaut. I've always wanted to shoot a vast section of a movie completely encapsulated by nothing but metal, glass, and switches, and I finally have a chance to do that too. So this is real dream come true stuff here.
People have forgotten what these guys on Apollo 13 and everybody at NASA and what the world went through at that time. And I think Ron Howard has been very true to the story.
You have a great story and you have all this incredible technology and you have something that was, very important historically. And this moment was, in so many ways, NASA's finest hour. And it's really exciting to be a part of delivering that story.
But the biggest challenge for the cast and crew was filming in a completely weightless environment using NASA's specially modified airplane, the KC-135.
Hold the camera a little lower, Tom. Go up a little higher, Bill. Bruce, can you widen your shot a little? Level off.
When you're weightless, it feels like you've just been spun upside down. All the blood goes into your head, and it feels like when you're in a Rocco plane at the amusement park, it just feels like you just got spun upside down. You think suddenly, you think, hey, I'm upside down. No, I'm not. What's wrong? Why is it different? Oh, I'm floating. And then you realize, well, I guess this is weightlessness.
Of course, there were a few things that didn't line up exactly to a T, such as the line, "Houston, we have a problem." The original phrase was, "Hey, we've got a problem here," and was said by Jack Swigert before Jim followed up with the now famous movie quote. Also in the film, Mattingly was a major contributor to figuring out the issue of the stranded ship. However, in reality, there was a whole team of people working with Mattingly to solve the issue. And mainly, the launch date in the movie is different from the actual launch date of the Apollo 13. The actual day of the launch was April 11th, 1970, whilst in the movie, the launch date was the 13th. This was most likely a foreshadowing tactic, using the superstition surrounding the number 13 as a warning that something bad was going to happen.
So, the number 13 doesn't bother you?
Only if it's a Friday, Phil.
Apollo 13, lifting off at 1,300 hours and 13 minutes, and entering the moon's gravity on April 13th.
Ken Mattingly here has been doing some scientific experiments regarding that very phenomenon, haven't you?
Yes. Well, I had a black cat walk over a broken mirror under the lunar module ladder. It didn't seem to be a problem.
And we're also considering a real helpful letter we got from a fellow who said we ought to take a pig up with us for good luck.
If this movie were to be made in our current time period, there would probably be more advanced themes of modern idealism. The characters in the movies would be watching the launch on their phones, tablets, or laptops rather than on television. The women in the film may be more empowered and playing a less traditionalist role. There would be more diversity, perhaps a person of colour, a different gender as one of the main characters. And there would be much better effects. CGI has come a long way.
This is Houston. Say again, please.
Houston, we have a problem.
Flight, their antenna must be 22. It's reading a quadruple failure. That can't happen.
Let's get that hatch button. The limb might have been hit by a meteor.
Model's really torquing with all the speed.
outside of window 1 right now.
What are you doing in my swamp?
The movie's purpose was to accurately portray the events that transpired during the Apollo 13 mission, an entertaining display of historic events. If there was a moral in the movie, I guess it would be that there's success even in failure.
Hey, I'm hungry.
Are you sure?
I could eat the ass out of a dead rhinoceros.
You what?
This movie was actually much better than I'd originally thought it would be. The quality of the movie was about equivalent to a modern-day movie, and it was entertaining. The effects leave much to be desired, but since they weren't a major part of the movie, it doesn't take away from it. Overall, I'd give this movie a 9 out of 10. It's pretty good. Go give it a watch.
I thought that the most exciting day of my life was the day I was elected President of the United States. And then I thought perhaps next to that was the day that Apollo 11 completed its flight, and I met it when it came down in the sea in the Pacific. But there's no question in my mind that for me personally, this is the most exciting, the most meaningful day that I've ever experienced. I feel that what these men have done has been a great inspiration to all of us. I think also what the men on the ground have done is an inspiration to us. How men react in adversity determines their true greatness, and these men have demonstrated that the American character is sound and strong and capable of taking a very difficult situation and turning it into really a very successful venture.